report to your commanders immediately. We have been redirected to Scarif. Pilots, you will be briefed by your squadron leaders en route. May the Force be with you.
Scarif? They're going to Scarif? Why does nobody ever tell me anything, Artu?
Scarif, I would say it's one of the few things with the current Star Wars that actually unites the fandom together, and I'm seeing that quite a lot. The reception the announcement of Scarif's return has received has been up there with the announcement of Grievous, Obi-Wan Kenobi. I can't contain my excitement. Scarif is just an amazing planet, and I think one of the main reasons people love it is because there's been so much repetition in recent years with Star Wars planets. There's so many sand planets. I think there's more sand planets than any other type of planets in Star Wars. There's so many snow planets, so many forest planets, and it just gets a bit boring when it's the same thing over and over again, but Scarif offered us something different. A tropical based beach environment with a forest on top as well. Not only that, not only is it the environment, because you can have a cool environment and the planet still not offer much story-wise. Look at Canto Bight, for example. What really helped Scarif achieve this huge reputation for being one of the fan favourite planets in the Star Wars universe was the battle from the end of Rogue One. One of the most intense battles in Star Wars history, and I enjoyed it. The stakes were so high, and even though you knew everybody had to die in that battle, you still felt like you didn't know what was going to happen next. I mentioned it briefly in my news update video yesterday, but something else that adds to the impact of the Battle of Scarif and the overall stakes is that you're trapped down there. Even if you win the battle, there's no way back up. You're eventually going to die, and that's nothing like what you experience in the Clone Wars, nothing like what you experience in the sequels, and nothing like you experience on a lot of the other original trilogy maps either in this game. But Ben Walk, the community manager, actually confirmed that Scarif isn't coming at the end of February, and we're actually waiting until March for this map. So they're not pushing it out as the first one, despite it being arguably the most talked about and the most highly anticipated map from this OT era of Supremacy. And I think there could be a little bit more to it. There is the chance, and I would say it's very likely, so don't go taking this video the wrong way, but it's very likely that Scarif will just come as Scarif with no new skins, no new heroes, no different map variations, anything like that. And that's not what I'm necessarily going to be talking about today. I'm not going to be telling you the tons of different pieces of content we could get with Scarif's arrival. It's not going to happen. It's being added to this game as a Supremacy map, a different variant of a map for the OT era. It's not about reintroducing a Rogue One DLC. But I do think they're holding this back till March because there might be a slight bit more. Now, obviously, it's not looking too great for Ahsoka Ventress. Some people get absolutely fed up with me talking about Ahsoka Ventress, which is absolutely fine. But there's another female hero out there, that's Jyn Erso, as we all know about, and I think the fans would really like to see her and director Orson Krennic come along with this map. And I was thinking about it, you know, it's going to be great seeing Luke on the surface. It's going to be great seeing Vader on the surface of Scarif, Han, Leia, all these different characters. But is it going to feel right without Jyn Erso and director Krennic? And that's something you've really got to ask, because imagine we got Capital Supremacy in that Clone Wars era without Anakin and Obi-Wan. I think it can survive without Ahsoka, it can survive without Padme, but without Anakin and Obi-Wan, the main two, I don't think it would have worked. Same with the sequels, whether you like them or not. Without Rey, without Kylo, without Finn, I think it could do without Phasma, do without the droids, but without those three specifically, I don't think it would feel right. And there's actually a rumour that there was actually a deleted scene from Rogue One. A lot got cut from that movie, but where Vader was on the surface of Scarif, and you know, if we'd seen that, maybe it would have been alright, but we never actually saw Vader on the surface of Scarif. He was probably too afraid of the sand, it would make sense. But yeah, imagine just not having any of the Rogue One characters on Scarif. And I'm definitely not going to be complaining if that's not the case, you know. If we don't get any new heroes of this, then I'm fine with it. But I think we've got to have something there, something that reminds us of Rogue One. Now, currently in the game, we've got the Death Troopers, we've got the U-Wings, and I think both will be playable on this map. The U-Wings don't have that much playability in the game right now. They're never really available on any of the maps. I think Yavin for one of the phases. Obviously Death Troopers are going to be down there as reinforcements, but what other reinforcements? Well, I was thinking Royal Guards a few months ago, but maybe they're going to go with more Rogue One themed reinforcements. They could add the K2SO droids. They were in Fallen Order, and I think that was a really nice touch, one of the many things I loved about that game. But seeing the K2SO droids as reinforcements would be great. Shore Troopers is an interesting one because they could do it as skins, but then that's going to create another thing like they did in the last game where you've got like Shore Troopers on Hoth, which I suppose at this point doesn't really matter because look at the different skins you can have on all different maps. But I think when it comes to Troopers, I don't know if they go down that route. Maybe the Shore Troopers will be reinforcements. Either way, they're going to be present in other environments throughout the game. So I think the canon element of that has gone down the drain. Would I like to see them 4 classes for the Assault Heavy Officer Specialist? Absolutely, 100%. I'd love to see the Shore Troopers return, and I think that's something you have to have in there. It is about keeping to the canon, and this is something they had to do with the sequel era as well. The Jump Troopers changed for Episode 9, they weren't the same as they were before, and while they didn't necessarily have to get rid of the previous Jump Trooper model out of the game, which I'm still kind of against, they did do that and they replaced it with the newer ones for Episode 9, and I respect that because they're keeping to the canon. So seeing Scarif without Jyn and Krennic is bad, but seeing it without the Shore Troopers would be even worse because Jyn and Krennic aren't always present on Scarif. The Shore Troopers own Scarif in terms of them being the troopers present there all the time, 24/7. Now there was lots of different aliens in Rogue One, and I'm just going to say straight away, I don't think we're going to get any of these in the game. Like, I'm not even going to try naming them because I don't think they're going to go down that route once again. I think they're going to stick to something that would support all the new planets. I think Honor Guards are very likely at this point. And it's the same which makes me want to go back to Royal Guards because I think they could come to the game to support all the different OT maps. So if I was to give you a realistic prediction of what I think these reinforcements are going to be for the original trilogy era, let me go and give you that right now. I think the Rebel pilots, seeing how much as they've been in the files, will be there. I think the Rebel Honor Guards, also in the files, will be there. I think the Shore Troopers could potentially be reinforcements, but if not, I would be siding with the Royal Guards and potentially the K2SO droids. It could happen, but once again, those K2SO droids would be very difficult to make. What gives me a bit of hope with them is look at the different style mechanics they've gone for in recent months of this game. BB droids, droidicas, Grievous. They've really outdone themselves in terms of going for different mechanics and not just going with the generic human models, and you've got to respect EA and DICE for that. So I think overall Scarif could be looking pretty big. It could be a lot more than just a map for Supremacy. You could have a variant on HVV as well, you could have a variant on Hero Showdown, and especially with there being no capital ship interiors as well, I think this map's got to be a lot bigger, it's got to offer a lot more. And I think finally I would say it's going to be on the beaches and in the jungles. Don't get your hopes up for anything inside the Spire on Scarif, any action in there. They said in the transmission it's returning from Battlefront 1, so I would expect beach action, I would expect jungle action, and probably Landing Pad 13 making its return as the main map, but we will obviously see there. I know Battlefront 1 had a lot of different Scarif maps, I believe there were 5 in total if you include the space map, which we're not going to get, so no trying to get through the shield gate. Would have been cool instead of going into the capital ships if the final phase of Scarif would be trying to escape aboard maybe a U-Wing and trying to get out of the planet and the planet's atmosphere and just get through that shield gate. But I suppose how would you do that? How would you incorporate 20 different players on one side into something like that? So I do kind of understand why they've not done that. Like I said, there's I think 4 other ground maps of Scarif from Battlefront 1. They may incorporate all of them into one, they may just go with Landing Pad 13 like I said. You've even got that map from the campaign, however I believe most of that is taken from Battlefront 1 as well, so a lot to go into here with Scarif. It's just going to be one map I believe for a HVV Hero Showdown as well variant. I think they just take an aspect of the larger map that they're going to use for Supremacy, only time will tell. But even if none of this comes, I'm so happy to see Scarif return, and it does open up So many possibilities for more content from the campaign, from Battlefront 1, everything like that. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I shall see you all next time. Let's bring on Scarif.